You're listening to Christian Audio's production of Not All Roads Lead to Heaven, Sharing an Exclusive Jesus in an Inclusive World, by Dr. Robert Jeffress. This book is read by Maurice. This audio recording was produced in 2016 by Christian Audio, which owns the copyright. No portion of this recording may be reproduced for any reason without prior written consent from Christian Audio. This edition issued by contractual arrangement with Baker Publishing Group. Originally published in English as Not All Roads Lead to Heaven, Sharing an Exclusive Jesus in an Inclusive World. Copyright undefined by Dr. Robert Jeffress. All rights reserved. Please visit christianaudio.com, facebook.com/Christian Audio, or twitter.com/Christian Audio to offer your impressions of this work and to explore additional titles. Chapter 1. Christianity's Most Offensive Belief. Over the years, I've made frequent appearances on the Fox News show The O'Reilly Factor. What I appreciate most about Bill O'Reilly is his willingness to host on his program people with whom he disagrees, such as myself, which explains in part why his show remains the top-rated program in cable news. Although The O'Reilly Factor deals primarily with secular subjects, whenever Bill invites me to talk about religious topics, the conversation invariably touches on the subject of this book, the exclusivity of Jesus Christ. In a recent interview about the connection between Islam and terrorism, I recounted the violent track record of Muhammad, the founder of Islam. Bill asked, "How are we supposed to look at Islam? Should we embrace our Muslim brothers and sisters?" "Absolutely," I said. "I tell my congregation as individual Christians, we ought to pray for Muslims. We ought to pray and do everything we can to introduce them to faith in Jesus Christ." I had a feeling my answer might provoke a reaction, and it did. "Are you saying we should proselytize them?" Bill wondered, probably knowing what my response would be. "Absolutely," I affirmed. "I teach my congregation." Bill cut in with another question. "Does that mean doing what you just did, though, nailing Muhammad as a violent guy? Is that the tack you take?" he asked with a smile. "Well, you have to tell the truth," I said. "And the truth is that Islam is a false religion, built on a false book, written by a false prophet," I explained. The show was flooded with reactions to the interview, both positive and negative. On the next broadcast, Bill read a viewer's email. "Whenever Pastor Jeffress appears on The Factor, he sounds reasonable. But then he loses all credibility with me when he insists that his way is the only way to heaven." O'Reilly accurately responded, "That's what evangelicals believe." That interview, and reaction to it, was a reminder to me that the single greatest stumbling block for non-believers coming to faith in Christ is the issue of exclusivity. You may sound reasonable in your explanation of Christianity, but trust me on this. You too will lose all credibility when you insist that faith in Christ is the only way to heaven. Are you ready for the question? Even as I'm typing these words, I received an email from a church member informing me of a guest he was bringing to dinner for a question and answer time with me. She's not a Christian because she cannot accept the belief that there is only one way to heaven. Wanted to give you a heads up so you're ready for her question. I am ready for the question, primarily because I have spent months researching and writing about this subject. But my purpose in this audiobook is to equip you to be ready to articulate and defend this foundational truth of the Christian faith. We must understand the doctrine of the exclusivity of Christ so that we are prepared to respond when people ask us, "Don't all religions lead to heaven?" The reality of salvation through Christ alone is not something we should shy away from in our conversations with unbelievers, thinking it keeps them out of heaven. In contrast, it is the only way for us to invite them in. The most loving thing we can do for our unbelieving family, friends, and people in our circle of influence for anyone is to clearly communicate this essential doctrine to them. As we will see, the answer to the question is, not all roads lead to heaven, only the road through saving faith.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?